Greetings out Hebrews, like brothers and sisters. This is the high priest, L.D. Smith, the watchman on the wall. As always, family, grab that King James. But first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the whole family. Happy Sabbath, Israel. That being said, family, we're going to go right into our teaching. Now, remember now, family, we're going to pick up from where we left off at on our previous teaching. We're dealing with the Ten Commandments. The Most High told me to go to the house of Israel, and warn them of me. Over in Ezekiel 33, he said that I have chosen you as a watchman over the house of Israel. And go to them and warn them of me, or from me. And see, that's my job. I mean, I'm going to we his people. See, because most of them out there, listen, you got a lot of knowledge that's out there that's going back and forth. And the Bible tells us is during this time in the last days, knowledge shall go forth. They be running to and fro here, with knowledge and whatnot. I may not be quoting it just right, but it's Old Testament. But anyway, you can see now knowledge is readily available. But Solomon told him over in Ecclesiastes, he tells them about all this reading, reading these books. He says it's just wear on the flesh. He said, but look, this is the conclusion of the whole matter. This is the conclusion of the whole matter. All this running here and there, all that, cut that shit out. Stop that. He says this is the conclusion of the whole matter. That what? Man should what? Fear God and obey his commandments. End of story. End of story. So you can run here and run here and all that. You can know all that. But if you don't know that you put the fear of God and that it's your duties to obey all his commandments, then all that knowledge you got out there, it ain't nothing. It's just like the scripture says, ye worship me with your lips, but in your heart, you are far from me. And see, I'm trying to get the Most High's people ready to receive Elijah when Elijah shows up. See, because if your heart ain't right, see, Elijah, he's going to be sent to turn us. Turn the fathers back to the children and the children back to the fathers. And one has to realize that the father is the head. He's the head. I don't care what any woman tells you. The man is the head. The word was always given to the man, and the man go back and teach his family. Not that the woman is equal to him. No, the word is given to the man, and the man teaches his family. It's right in the Bible, all through it. He says, remember you the law of Moses over there in Malachi. Didn't he say that? He said that I'm going to send you back Elijah, the prophet. Why he didn't say that I'm going to send Elijah's wife back? Know why? Because he began with a man and he's going to end with a man. That's why he says in Isaiah, he says, who can this? He says, I declare the end from the beginning. So what that means? What I started with in the beginning, that's what you're going to see in the end. That's how it's going to be. In everything. Why? Because he does not change. He doesn't change. The wife is there to help her husband. With the two of them working together, they can she's supposed to amplify him. That's why Moses' wife circumcised him. Because she helped him. She wasn't sent to Egypt. Moses was. But see, but now some want to teach, well, the woman, she's this, and the woman is supposed to help. God didn't change that. You don't have a queen unless you got a king. There is no queen without a king. It's not. But let's get into our teaching now. I just had to get that out. See, because we need to know where we're going. We need to be on the right page. Now let's go forward. We are coming out of the book of Exodus chapter 20. Now we already did verses 1, 2, and 3, but we're going to read back over them, and then we're going to start down at verse 4. Now we did verse 4 here on the other week. And we went there in the Jeremiah, and we talked about this queen of heaven. And anyone saw and read that, you see that they said the women, they went and did burn incense without their husband, and then said it too. Yeah, we did it without our husbands. They did all of this, but at the end, they had to pay for that. They had to pay for serving another god. Some of y'all took y'all time to go over there and read it and see what happened. Since you vowed that, go ahead and do it, but you're gonna pay for it. You're going to pay for that. Why? Because you have left the fountain of living water. There is only one God. There's only one God. That's why he says, I share my glory with nobody. Nobody. That's why he said, I do all these things. You can't put it on somebody else. You got to say, the Most High used that person to do that to me. Huh? That's what you say, because if you just focus on the person, then the Most High said, you give my glory to the person. No, I use them. Just like he used me. He used everybody down here. Everybody down here is pawns. He moves them here and there. He causes you to do this. He causes you to do that. And I said all the time in other teachings, listen, he said, I will cause your enemy to rise up against you. I will cause your enemy to be at peace with you. See that? I did it. I do all these things. See, so don't give any entity any credit for doing nothing. Because the Most High said, I do all this. When evil comes to a city, heaven, the Lord did it. That's in Amos chapter 3. I did all that. So what one has to realize is that, but yes, God is doing this, but what is the end game for him doing that? If you don't know what the end game is, you fall all apart. But the Most High says, I have a plan for you. Huh? I got a plan for you. He has a plan for us. It's in Isaiah. Of peace and love. But let's get into our teaching. Exodus 21 says, and God spake all these words. Remember, God said this. This is Moses rehashing what God said. All right? He said, I am the Lord thy God, which has brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Now remember, family, out of the land of Egypt, out of the land of Egypt. Now here he said that I have brought you out of the house of bondage. Then he said, thou shalt have no other God before me. No other God. Small g. Then he says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Now you can see here, clearly see. I talked about this in another video, but it bears repeating because I'm finna move on down to verses 5. Now, just by looking at this, he told them, don't do any images about anything, right? That was up there, that was walking around here, and that was down in the water. Now you can see, just use a little bit of imagination and just think about what I just said and then what you said, because you're reading along with me. They had to been seeing something up in the air, flying, something. See, because the only way things can be up in the air is they have to be flying. They have to be moving. So you can see that they were seeing. different things flying up in there. And it wasn't no bird. It wasn't no bird. Because they were used to seeing birds. It was something else that did things that made them go, that's unnatural. How could that be? Don't have any wings flapping, but yet it still is moving through the sky like this and that. Then they came down and landed. Then they walked among them on the ground. Y'all see that? Then they also went in the water and came out the water. Now, you have to know that it was something that they saw, that they interact with, that they saw people. I mean, if you want to call them people, different nations interacting with them. So what the other nations did, they made images of those because they went in their king. So then they made gods. They made statues that resembled what they saw. Flying in the air. They made some other statues of pictures of them walking around him with them, tall individuals with long heads, or however you want to see them, you know. Then they saw something coming up out the water. So then they made them. If you go back and look at the hieroglyphics of the Egyptians, some of them had a bird-like face, and the rest of the body was made like a man. Then they also had fish. Some of them had this part up here made like a fish. Go and Google it. It's right there. You can see that they saw this. These things was walking around. Because they looked like a fish. You get it still, this part here was made like your body and mine. And they walked among them. So you can see here that the other nations, they was doing this. So then God is telling his people, don't y'all mimic them. Don't y'all do what they do. And you can see here. Then he says, verse 5 says, thou shalt not bow thyself to them, nor serve them, for I am, the Lord thy God, am jealous, God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. See, when you hate him, you love somebody else. You can't love two people. You can't. You can't. You can love one and then be playing the other one. You can't love two. That was a song way back in the, I think it was in the 70s. Might have been the 80s. I forget who sang it. If it come across my mind, if I find out, some of y'all, know, because a lot of y'all like the oldies and whatnot. But it goes, trying to love two ain't easy to do. Because you can't. You're going to love the one and hate the other, or play the other. You can only love one. See, so when you're worshiping other gods, then that means that you hate your God. Because you won't give him a reverence. You won't worship him. You won't bow down to him, but you'll bow down to somebody else. Now let's get here in the word. Now I'm going to show you now. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel now. See how much time we got. How we looking on time? Okay, all right. Okay, we gonna okay. All right, 3:30. All right, okay. Now let's go to Ezekiel. Ezekiel chapter 8. Now watch it, family. I'm gonna show you now. Ezekiel chapter 8. Then we gonna move on. We're gonna move on. We're gonna we're gonna bounce back up and we're gonna be doing Exodus chapter 20 verse 4. This Ezekiel goes with verse 4, and then we're gonna move on down to verse 5 later on. But they all just mingle all together, but it's dealing with worshiping other gods in golden images. All right, in graven images. All right, now let's look at Ezekiel chapter 8. Ezekiel chapter 8 now, as I stated earlier, and I always say I want you guys to read along with me, and I want you guys to think about it. Listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth, and I know the Most High will give you a clear understanding. Now look what he says here. Now we in Ezekiel chapter 8. Now look what it says. And it came to pass in the 6th year, and in the sixth month, in the 5th day of the month, as I sat in my house, and the elders of Judah sat before me. Now this is Ezekiel and the elders. Now look what he says. That the hand of the Lord fell upon me. Not the elders now, that's with him. Then I looked, beheld me, looked, and lo, a likeness of the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his loins even down with fire, and from his loins even upward as the appearance of brightness, as the color of amber. And he put forth the form of a hand, and took me by a lock of my head. And the Spirit lifted me up between the earth and heaven, and brought me into the vision of God to Jerusalem, to the door of the inner gates that looked toward the north, where the seat of the image of jealousy, which provoked to jealousy. And behold, the glory of the God of Israel was there, according to the vision that I saw in the plain. Then said he unto me, Son of man, lift up thine eyes now the way toward the north. So I lifted up mine eyes the way toward the north, and behold, northward at the gate of the altar, this image of jealousy in thy interest. He said furthermore unto me, Son of man, seest thou what thou do? They do even the great abomination that the house of Israel committed. Here that I should go far off from my sanctuary. But turn thee yet again, and thou seest great abomination. And he brought me to the door of the court. And when I looked, behold, a hole in the wall. Then said he unto me, Son of man, dig now in the wall. And when I had digged in the wall, behold, a door. And he said unto me, Go in, and behold the wicked abomination that they do here. So I went in and saw, and behold, every form of creeping thing, and abomination beasts, and all the idols of the house of Israel, portrayed upon the wall round about. Did y'all hear? He seen all those idols that Israel had hid, or so-called. But let's keep on going. And there stood before them 7 men of the ancients of the house of Israel, and in the midst of them stood Jezreel, the son of Shaphan, which every man had censers in his hand. and a thick cloud of incense went up. They're burning incense, y'all. Huh? They're burning incense, y'all, and they ain't burning them to the Most High God either. You see, the ancients of it. Now these are old ones. These are old seasoned individuals. I ain't talking about no little young whippersnapper. No, these are the old ones. The old ones. Burning incense to other gods. Then said he unto me, Son of man, hast thou seen what the ancient of the house of Israel doing in the dark? All praise to the Most High living God. I tell you, there's nothing you can do that he does not know. See, when you, even if you're doing it in the so-called open in your ignorance, he still sees it. Even if you think that you're sneaking doing it. Well, I'm kind of halfway. I don't want to offend him, and I don't want to offend her. Or I don't want to offend them, or I don't want to offend those over there. So I'm just going to be neutral. I'm just going to be half and half. Most I say, I got something for that too. Because you in the dark. Because the one over here don't know that you worshiping this one over here. And the one that's over there don't know that you're worshiping the one over here. He got you. And this is not catch-22. He says, I see what you're doing in the dark. I give all praise to the Most High living God of Israel. Every man in his chamber of his imagery. For they say the Lord seeth us not. The Lord has forsook the earth. He ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. He see you. He knows what you're doing. He knows what you've done. And here you are, you thinking that you fooling him. I remember my daughter when she was small. She had she was doing something. I forget what it was, but I came in the room and she had it behind her back, and I was talking to her about something, and then I said, what do you got behind your back, Jess? Now, remember the object was hid from her, but it wasn't hid from me because I'm looking at her. I know she got something behind her back, but to her, she's hiding it. But to me, I'm looking at her. I know you guys, this is a simple analogy of one that's playing in the dark, thinking that the Most High doesn't see you. He sees you. He knows exactly what you're doing. But let's keep on going. He said also unto me, turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see great abomination that they do. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat woman weeping for Timothy. Then said he unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Turn thee yet again, and thou shalt see greater abominations than these. 16 says, and he brought me into the inner court of the Lord's house, and behold, at the door of the temple of the Lord, between the porch and the altar, were about 25 men. 25 men. See that? See that? God is not going to allow his servant to be tricked or fooled by any of that foolishness. He's not. He's showing it to him. Why? Because he's sending them to them. So when they said, no, it wasn't me, he said, yeah, it was you. with their backs toward the temple of the Lord. They didn't turn their backs. And their face towards the east, and they worship the sun towards the east. Told you can't love too. I told you can't love too. You can say all praise to the Most High all you want to. Listen, all you're doing is spinning your wheels in the mud, making a fool of yourself. Because when the time comes, when the testing times come, how can you call on one that you don't even know, that you don't even deal with? You don't even deal with him. But for lip service, there's no communication, there's no thinking about what his word says, like it said, meditate therein day and night, that you might do according to all that is written therein. You ain't doing none of that. You're not. You're doing what you want to do. Now look what he says here. Then he said unto me, hast thou seen this, O son of man? Is that big I-S. Is it a light thing to the house of Judah that they commit the abominations which they commit here? For they have filled the land with violence, and have returned to revoke me to anger. And lo, they put the breach to their noses, the branch to their nose. Therefore will I also deal in fury, mine eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. And though they cry in my ears with a loud voice, yet I will not hear them. Remember, they did this before. Nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new. When you leave the fountain of living water, this is what's going to happen to you. This is what's going to happen to you. You can't worship other gods and then think, well, everything is all right. I mean, that's just like you having two lovers. Then when the other one put you down, then you run back to me. You go right on back to the same one you was with. Go on back with them. But you can't go back. You know why? Because they don't want you. And then the God that you was worshiping can't help you. So now you run to me for help. When I'm punishing you for what you have done. But let's keep on going. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 9. Let's stay there. Let's stay in the book of Ezekiel. Let's go to chapter 9. He cried also in my ears with a loud voice, saying, curse them that have charge over the city, to draw near, even every man with his destroyer weapon in his hand. Curse them all. Curse them all. He's mad. He is mad. He's mad. Yes. Yes. Call him. Call him. He got these weapons. Look what he says here. He said, I will cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hands. See that? I cause everything. I cause everything. I cause it. I cause that. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the high gates, which lies between the north, and in every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a white ink horn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the Lord of Israel was gone up from the cherubims whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothes with linen, which had the writing inkhorn by his side. And the Lord said unto him, go throughout the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the forehead of the men, that side, and they that cry for all the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. All the ones that was against them, that were worshiping other gods, he said, go and put a mark in their head. I want you to mark them. Put a mark in their head, because they was crying out against it. Like I am. He said, go and put a mark in their head. That's what he said. And the others, he said, in my hearing, go ye after him that the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maid and little children and women, But but I thought the women couldn't sin, because it says, my son, attend unto my word. But now the women are getting slaughtered because they are worshiping another god. Just like he says, thou shalt not have any other god before me. That's for everybody. Not everybody. All those that worship other gods, they got to pay. Little babies, the men, and the women. So all the women that think that they can serve other gods and do anything they want to do, don't even honor the Sabbath, because he only talks about the man in there. I'm gonna punish you. I'm gonna punish you. I'm gonna punish you. And you see right in the pages. I'm not making up nothing. He got it right here. He says, slay utterly old and young, both maids is women, and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. The one that was crying out against you, that was worshiping other gods. The one that was crying, saying what you're doing is wrong. How could you defile yourself and serve another god, knowing that the Most High God, he is the only true and living God? How could you serve another god? Those are the ones that he told, the one that had the horn of ink, go and put a mark in their forehead. So when the destroyer come, he will not destroy them. Just like it was in Egypt, when he say, put the blood on the doorpost, so when the death angel comes over, he'll see it and he'll go over you. God don't change. He does not change. I ain't changed. I ain't gonna never change. I'm not gonna never change. I'm not gonna ever change until I see Elijah coming up there. I'm gonna say, Elijah, now it's your turn. You take over. It's your turn now. You take over. Because God promised, he said, I'm going to send you Elijah before I come. Now let's keep on going. And begin at the sanctuary. Oh, he said, and begin at the sanctuary. Clean house. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. And he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew in the city. Y'all see that? Do y'all see that? Let's keep on going, because we're going to go on down to 11. Okay, let's keep on going. And it came to pass, while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face, and cried and said aloud, Lord God, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel, in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? Then said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceedingly great, and the land is filled of blood, and the city filled with perverseness. For they say, the Lord has forsook the earth, and the Lord seeth not. He's pissed off. He's mad. Mad because what you're doing, you think what you're doing in the dark, you think he don't see your ass, but he do. He sees you. He knows he knows what everybody's doing. He knows what I'm doing. He knows what you're doing. He knows what your mama doing if she's living, and your daddy, and your sisters, your aunt, your nieces, nephews, all y'all. He knows what the whole world is doing. That's why he said the earth is the Lord. Psalm 24. And the fullness thereof, and all them that dwell therein. Oh, that's mine. Huh? I see everything. Now look what he says. And as for me also, my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their ways upon their head. And behold, the man clothed with linen, which had the inkhorn by his side, reported, the matter, saying, I have done all. Just like he said about his word. He said, watch over my word, and hasten to perform it. He said he would not return unto me forward, but it shall accomplish in all the ways whatsoever I seen it. See here? He don't change. He reporting back to him, telling him what I have done as thou hast commanded me. All praise to the living God of Israel. God don't change, y'all. God does not change. He wants us to be obedient to him and only him. See, I don't have to answer to anybody but the Most High. That's what I answer to. I don't answer to nobody else. See, because if you are alone, listen, if you are alone right now, even if you feel alone, I'm here to tell you that you are not alone. Huh? Why? Because he feels his glory fills the earth. He's everywhere at all times. You're not alone. You may feel like you're alone, but you're not. You're not alone. All praise. All praise, family. Now we're gonna close out there. We're gonna close out there, and we're gonna pick up, and we're gonna go ahead on, and we're gonna finish these 10 commandments. But like I said, we're gonna take our time. We're not in a hurry. We're not. We're not in a hurry. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it right. That way, I'm free and clear. See, won't nobody ever be able to say which way. I don't really care what nobody says. I only care about what the Most High says. See, the Most High says that if you don't warn them from me, and the sword come and take any of them away, then their blood gonna be on your hand, not mine. Cause Noah, I'm gonna tell you. All right, family. That being said, we say happy Sabbath. We love you. We love your family. We love you guys. Truly, truly, we love you guys. But listen, the Most High love you more. Huh? Most High love you more. So anyway, y'all know how we do it. On the count of 3. You ready? 1, 2, 3. One word, one God, one people, one love. All praise, all praise. Until next time, family, we say we love you guys. Get some rest. Shalom.